Hey guys, I'm here with my January wrap up today. I actually did pretty good for my reading in January. I'm actually kind of shocked because I was not expecting to read this much. I didn't quite get all of the books on my TBR that I wanted to read, but I did do pretty good, so I'm happy with what I've done. The first book that I read this month was Uglies by Scott Westerfeld. As I'm sure you know, this is a dystopian series where at the age of 16, everyone goes through cosmetic surgery to become a pretty. I definitely enjoyed it. I gave this book a 4 out of 5 stars. I've been meaning to read this series for a long time, so it was a long time coming. So then, of course, the second book that I read this month was Pretties, also by Scott Westerfeld, of course. And it's the second installment. I'm not really going to say what it's about because then I might give away spoilers. But again, I enjoyed this one as well. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. The third book that I read this month is Switched by Amanda Hocking. This is part of the Tyrell series, and I have had these books, like this whole series, on my bookshelf since 2012 and been meaning to read it the entire time, and only just now finally got around to picking it up. And I have to say, I did really enjoy this book. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars, and I'm really disappointed that I waited so long to read it, and hopefully I will be continuing on with this series. I'm definitely planning on finishing this series this year at the very least. The next book that I read this month was Volume 3 of Saga. This is book 1 of the Saga series. It's the first 3 volumes all in one bind-up. This one, 5 out of 5 stars. I actually continued on with the series this month as well. I got the 4th and 5th volumes in a Humble Bundle and read them on the computer. Hopefully they'll make a bind up of the next 3 when the 6th one comes out, and I'll be able to get another book. I enjoyed all of them, especially the 5th one. The 5th one was really, really good. I think it's the best one yet. The next book that I read this month was A Beautiful Wedding by Jamie McGuire. This one is very small. It's just a novella. I really enjoyed this one. I think I gave it a 4 out of 5. The next book that I read this month and really, really enjoyed was Everything, Everything by Nicola Yoon. This book I had heard so much about, and I actually picked this book for my book club's read for January, and everybody loved it. I loved it. I think I gave it 4.5 stars out of 5. I might have even given it 5. I can't quite remember. I would definitely recommend this book. I've already recommended it to other people, and I've lent out this copy and gotten it back. It was a super, super quick read for me. I read it in a day, and I haven't done that in a long time. So that's how much I enjoyed this book. And then the next book that I read was The Martian by Andy Weir. I listened to The Martian on audiobook, and that was again for a book club. I loved it. I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. I absolutely loved it. I loved the humor, and it was just amazing. And like immediately after I finished listening to it, I went to my husband and I was like, okay, you need to listen to this because you were going to like it. He was listening to it for maybe 5 minutes and he just kept laughing. Because despite the fact that it's about someone who is stuck on Mars, it is still a very funny book. So if you haven't read it, I would highly, highly recommend listening to the audiobook. The narrator does an amazing job narrating this one. And the final book that I read this month is Cruel Crown by Victoria Aveyard. This is just 2 novellas in the Red Queen series, and I needed to get this read so that I'm all ready for Glass Sword coming up. And this one is very good. I think I gave it 4 out of 5 stars, and I would definitely recommend picking it up if you want to know more about Cal's mom. Because there is a little novella about Cal's mom in this, as well as Captain Farley. She definitely is a very interesting character. So I'm looking forward to getting to know more about her in the next book. So these are all the books that I read in January. In addition to these, there's 2 other volumes of Saga that I read as an ebook, as well as The Martian by Andy Weir on audiobook. So I read 10 books this month, and it was a great start to 2016 for me. Hopefully I can keep that up. So let me know below what you read this month, and I will see you guys later. Bye!